Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. Whether you are a new viewer or a returning viewer, I am so happy to have you here with me today. I received quite the reaction to the last video that I posted on my channel, where I talk about the potential for skin irritation if you were to follow Meghan Markle's do-it-yourself bath salt soak recipe that she shows her audience in episode 1 of her Netflix series. And then she blends it together. She puts it in a jar, and then on top of that, she's putting her dried flowers to make it extra special in that little tea bag. Don't do this, you guys. And I want to tell you why you should not do this.
And she goes on,
And
Angela,
it has to do...
to as you say.
I read her this morning.
Yeah,
I read her
you
this
explain.
morning.
You explain.
Yeah, well, it's just that actually you have to be very careful when you were dealing with things like that blend. You know, you can't just throw it in. I mean, that's like cooking, isn't it? You can't just throw it in. You have to be careful. You have to make sure that it's right and not dangerous one bit. And I think a lot of people have written to me saying, you know, how could anybody let that go through? You know, they can be sued because this is a terrible thing to do. It doesn't work, and people can have bleeding legs and take the skin off. You know, what on earth does she think she's doing? Why doesn't she actually make sure the amount she's doing? I mean, I'm no scientist, but you have to be very careful.
Is this actually true? What the deuce is going on? So I did a little bit of research, and guys, it's insane. This is actually true. Be careful with Meghan Markle's bath salts recipe because it can irritate, it can burn your skin. Here is a video from Simple Beauty with Jennifer. She explains that she is a 20-year plus esthetician, so she knows what she's talking about here. And I'm just going to show you a clip of this video. I'll make sure the full video link is in the description bar below so you can watch the full thing. But here is just a short, small clip as to what she says about Meghan Markle's bath salts recipe. Here we go.
Makes a DIY, a do-it-yourself bath salt soak for her friend Daniel Martin. The way she is making it in this episode is the entirely wrong way to go about it. She's making it in a way that could be very potentially highly irritating to someone if they used what she made and soaked in it. And I wanted to go into why that is with you guys, because you might watch something like that, might want to make your own DIY bath salt soak, but if you follow the way she does it, you could potentially really irritate your skin. And I want to tell you why.
There you go. Now, I went down the rabbit hole a little bit further, and this is what Google had to say. Yes, mixing Epsom salts directly with essential oils can potentially burn your skin because essential oils are highly concentrated and can irritate the skin if not properly diluted with a carrier oil. Simply adding them to Epsom salt does not dilute them enough, meaning they can directly contact your skin and cause irritation.
In that episode, we see her using arnica oil and lavender oil in the Epsom salt that she is using for her bath salt soak. If you want a more in-depth explanation as to why essential oils have the potential to be so irritating, you can check out that video. I will relink it in the description or somewhere around up here. I also talk about in that video that I wasn't exactly sure what type of arnica oil that she was using. And because I wasn't entirely sure, I figured, and rightly so, that many viewers watching that might be confused as well. I also had a few of my very smart viewers in the comments remind me that she had also added Himalayan pink salt and lavender oil. But again, I just wanted to make that video because I know essential oils can be extremely powerful. They can offer a lot of health benefits, but if they are used improperly and in too large of amounts, they can cause some serious health risks. In the video where we watch Meghan making her homemade bath salt preparation, she is using arnica oil and she is using lavender oil. Now, I, as the viewer, do not know whether she is using pure essential oil or if she is blending it with something called a carrier oil. And a carrier oil is simply something that is a fatty oil, say a coconut oil, an olive oil, a jojoba oil, an almond oil. You need to blend essential oils with carrier oils in order to use essential oils safely. So in that video, she does not specify what she is doing. I watched her use that arnica oil that she talks about in the video. I thought she's possibly using it with a carrier oil, but if I didn't know, I wouldn't know. If I didn't know about essential oils, I might not even know to ask about that type of stuff. And essential oils are very strong. They are nothing to be played around with. So that's why it's very important to specify and to educate people. Now, I do not believe that she meant any ill will, but at the same time, she should offer up her audience at least a little bit more of a detailed explanation as to how she's doing this, what she's doing, and in what measured amounts. And the reason why I know is just in reading the comments that I received from you. I would say roughly half of my audience had somewhat of some experience with essential oils, and they were pretty angry and aghast that she would just offer up this recipe without a little bit more of a detailed explanation. And then the rest of the comments were from people who basically told me that they had absolutely no idea that you had to blend an essential oil with a carrier oil. There was one really great comment in particular that I want to share with you. It's from Marcella. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. It's from Marcella Huff 8317. And she says, the fact that did not seem to emphasize that the essential oil was buffered with a carrier oil could lead people, like me, to use the essential oil as is. I was not aware of the need to buffer essential oils with a carrier oil. I do not make bath salts, use oils, etc. But I bet I am not alone in not knowing this. Your video provides what is missing in MM's video. It is surprising that this was not flagged by Netflix. Viewers who try to emulate what was talking about on her show with poor results is a strong possibility. I would think Netflix would be extremely cautious about streaming information that could have negative impacts on its viewers. And she is 100% correct. To be fair, again, in my original video, I say she may be using arnica essential oil with a carrier oil, but we don't know that. We have absolutely no idea. You can purchase arnica oil blends on the shelf in health food stores and online, ready to go, ready to be applied to skin when you're soaking in a bath. But you can also buy arnica essential oil, just the essential oil in a little bottle, and someone could mistakenly use that on their skin. So that's why it's so important to be very clear. This was another comment that I received from Rowan Boyer 6560. And she says, as a retired nurse who worked with plastic surgeons, essential oils can be extremely toxic under the wrong conditions. I've seen scars and burns when these oils have been used incorrectly. Also, arnica in any form can be a real irritating substance. You've done a wonderful job of explaining this. Also, I've seen respiratory reactions to incorrectly used oils. The oils can also become rancid if not prepared properly or very, very aged. You see what I mean? Another comment I received says, yes, essential oils could be dangerous for people with sensitive skin. As a matter of fact, essential oils could be toxic if mixed improperly. And that is true. I'm glad you're talking about this because I watched Meghan's show and I was in shock. First, she puts this in a bowl, then she adds the arnica oil, then pink Himalayan salt, then she adds lavender. She doesn't measure anything, then she starts to put it in a big jar. When she sees that the jar is too big, she just starts adding more of everything. This was a total mess and she had no idea what she was talking about. You are right, this could cause a lot of problems for many people. She should have done some research and spoken with a knowledgeable person before putting it on her show. She also said she puts a lot in her bath, the more the better. I do not think that is true. Andrea6421 wrote to me and said, another YouTuber I follow actually made the bath salts and actually got burned. And Lisa Ann Griff shares with me, I appreciate your video. I did know that the essential oil needed a carrier. I have been using essential oils forever. Meghan does not have a clue. I hope anyone watching the show does not use her recipe so they will not get sensitized skin or worse. Now, I'll insert a little demonstration video where I talk about the proper ratios when you're using essential oils to carrier oils. If you want to make something like what Meghan did, I go into a lot more detail about how to use Epsom salt safely in my Epsom salt bath video. I will also link that for you. So here is a little demonstration for you if you did want to try this bath salt recipe with more explanation. So that's the Walmart Equate brand of Epsom salt. Very affordable. It's put into a clean glass bowl that I measured out with that glass measuring cup. I put exactly 2 cups of salt in. That is one of my favorite Target fragrance-free body oils. It's got grapeseed, jojoba, and pumpkin oil. It's not organic, but it's still a very nice blend, and I put 10 drops of it into that measuring spoon that you see. The essential oil that I'm going to use in my recipe is just 2 drops of this doTERRA lavender essential oil. It's one of my favorites, and I am not affiliated with doTERRA at all. And what I do is I very, very carefully, and you will see the drops come out very slowly into that measuring spoon. I measure out just 2 drops of that lavender essential oil. And then when you're using essential oils, no matter what you're using, you want to cap them very quickly after using them because they can degrade with air. And then I just take the 10 drops of the carrier oil that I put into that measuring spoon and the 2 drops of the lavender oil into the Epsom salt. And then you're going to blend it very carefully and very thoroughly. I'm using a silicone, kind of like a cake spatula with this DIY recipe. Be really careful with essential oils, whether you're using plastic utensils, wood utensils, or even metal utensils. If essential oil sits on the surface of them for a long period of time, it can degrade certain materials. So always make sure that you wash anything that you're using. So I'll wash this silicone spatula immediately after using it, but I reserve a few kitchen utensils like this just for when I'm doing these DIY body and bath preparations. So I'm really taking my time in mixing this, making sure that it is thoroughly mixed. And because we're not adding preservatives to this homemade mix, you want to use it at least within 1 to 3 days. You're going to see me put a lid on that. And if you are new to any essential oil or even any carrier oil, conduct patch tests on your skin and wait at least 24 hours before proceeding to put this on your skin. It is so important to use products that you have never used before with care and with caution. If it is something that is being put on your skin, if it is something that you're soaking in, it's always a really good idea to do a patch test and wait anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. I would use caution and at least wait a minimum of 24 hours because you never really know how something is going to affect you. No matter what you're watching, no matter what someone is recommending to you, always start out small, conduct patch tests, be really careful. You don't know how you're going to react. And I actually really did like the fact that she put this bath salt soak recipe in her show. It's made mostly of Epsom salt, and Epsom salt is fantastic. It is relatively inexpensive and can be used safely by a lot of people. It can be used as a saline laxative that you can drink. You can soak in it if you have muscle soreness, and it's a quick and easy way to pamper yourself at home. The problem I had was that she wasn't super clear about what type of arnica oil she was using. She wasn't really clear about how much lavender oil she was using. So that's why I made that video. And I do hope that it was helpful for you. I do hope that it helped you stop and think about how you need to be cautious. I would recommend always do your research. Even if you think that you're not going to be irritated by something, it is always better to be safe than sorry. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I am so happy to have you here with me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I want you to take care. God bless. Bye.